Hello all and welcome to the Division 2 roundup for PRL Racing League Season 15. This is Mark Old School 3000 right here. Again, please call me Mark. I really just wanted to do a bit of a season review for us all. We're going to split it up into two parts. The first part is going to be me quite objectively going over the season's results individually from the main people that have attended most of the races, people that I can break down their seasons into quarters quite easily because they've attended most of the races, with some shout outs at the end to guys that have recently joined, are going to join, and some that have moved on. But yeah, I'm gonna break the season down into quarters, because it's quite interesting actually when you read through the results and how people's seasons progressed. Can't do it race by race; it'd just be too much time. I'm gonna point out some personal highlights. I think from individuals from the neutral point of view. Again, this isn't from any of your guys' comments because we're going to do a different video on that, but I wanted to do, if any of you are familiar with Ted's Notebook on Sky, a little bit of a breakdown like that really. But yeah, so yeah, I'm just going to try and give a bit of a summarisation of the season driver by driver, and go from there really. So yeah, no, without further ado, I wanted to, I suppose, kick the video off with a couple of thank yous, and shout outs really. First off, has to be Macca for organising it this season. Really great step from him, to lead us, so to speak, and kind of organise this season. Without him, none of us would have raced. Wouldn't have anything to talk about. So definitely a big shout out to Macca. A second shout out is to the guys in Div 1 that are doing the videos, the podcasts, because this is kind of what's inspired me to do it. I don't think I would have just randomly come off the bat and done this actually without Michemery, Smithy and Gary. Without those guys, this wouldn't happen. So big shout out, love what you guys are doing, really entertaining. The season finale video was absolutely stunning, editing was cracking on that, so yeah, big thank you to you guys as well. Yeah, let's kick off. We're going to do this in, roughly championship order. Effectively it should be championship order, but if I mess anything up, I really apologise. So yeah, on to Yari. What can we say, congratulations Yari, fantastic performance. Our Division 2 champion, who is moving on to bigger and better things next year, thank goodness for the rest of us, because he's been by far and the quickest driver, by far and away the quickest driver. So yeah, big thank you to Yari for showing us how the Div 1 guys drive, because I think he is really competitive up there, but yeah, let's have a review of his season. It's interesting actually because he started off not the strongest. He actually got off to, over the first 5 races, 52 points. The first quarter of the season, 52 points. Followed that up with 58. But where Yari kind of came into his own really was the third quarter of the season. Picked up 93 points, having a possible 125. Absolutely incredible. Completely put the thumb screws on everyone else, and really showed us why he was at that point kind of champion elect really, because I think it was fairly clear after Japan that he was going to be winning this title. I mean, that went a bit awry in Interlagos, where he obviously crashed, and yeah, he nearly cost himself potentially the title, but there's no doubt that Yari was the quickest driver this year. The final 5 races, when he picked up 56 points, I say only, but you know what I mean, compared to probably the expectation we had of him and himself, and probably that he had of himself as well. I'm not sure he'd have been too happy to ever walk away with that kind of tally over 5 races. But yeah, you know, looking at Yari's personal highlights, he won 3 races in a row, which no one did. No one else did in Div 2. Singapore, Malaysia and Japan completely dominated. Very, very, very strong performance over those 3 races. And yeah, you know, I can't really feel anyone would argue he's not the worthy championship winner. So yeah, absolutely, again, you know, congrats to Yari. And I think we all wish you the best of luck in Div 1. A little fact for everyone that I picked out: he was only 15 seconds behind the winner of the Div 1 Abu Dhabi race, and I picked that race particularly because obviously it's recent, but the conditions are exactly the same. Only 15 seconds, quite incredible really. Obviously I think he's gonna be competitive next year, otherwise he won't be moving up. But yeah, really big props to Yari. Moving on to second place in the title is Army Tricks. Great season from Army. I feel what he did over the season was brilliant to secure second place. Again, you know, it's interesting though, because the first quarter, and one thing I should have pointed out actually at the beginning of this is that when I'm breaking the quarters down, I'm including Australia as race 16, so that's in the last quarter, because obviously our Australia was cancelled and rearranged. So please bear that in mind if you run through the tables, because I actually have taken that into account. But yeah, 41 points for Army over the first 5 races, which was actually only enough to put him in, I believe, 4th place. Oh, 5th place actually, if you include Pepita. So he was 5th place after the first 5 races. Pretty incredible to think. But yeah, you know, the second quarter he picked up 69 points, which really got him into a place where he started to move up the table. Yeah, and you know, followed that up with 46 points in the third quarter and 83 points in the last 5 races. I mean, we'd all kind of given up on the title at that point. You know, after Japan, I think all of us were just thinking, oh, when's Yari going to win it? But the guy picked up 83 points in the last 5 races. That's incredible. No, I think we all threw in the towel. I think we all thought it was all over, but you know, Army really stepped it up and come to the forefront and did incredible things. So, you know, he took it right to the wire, which I don't think anyone was expecting when we left Mexico. Absolute kudos. Brilliant, and I think, you know, if we look at you know, Army's personal highlights, I would say it's just the consistency that he seemed to have. His results over the season, I think, were very impressive. He seemed to always turn up. I think the only race he really had a particular nightmare that I can drastically remember personally was China, where he went out after a couple of laps. But yeah, you know, brilliant performance. And one thing I want to highlight, I think, and I want this to be the case as well for Tom, V5, Stevo and Dave in particular, is that I think we're judging everyone a bit harshly, because Yari was so far ahead of everyone else that we kind of almost compare people's performance to Yari's. You know, these guys did so well compared to anyone else in the championship that, you know, I think it's almost unfair to judge them against what Yari achieved this year, because I think all of them have progressed. I think everyone in the league actually has progressed this year, from what I can see anyway. Yeah, you know, and I think he did really good things, and he was definitely worth his second place. On to Tiggerby, or Tom, or both. Bit of a split personality kind of chap. The heel of PRL Division 2, I feel, for any of you wrestling aficionados. This is a really good stat. Tom was 27 points clear of Steve-O after the first 5 races in first. Steve-O was second. It's mad. I mean, you know, he was so quick over the beginning 5 races. He obviously put a lot of work, a lot of time into the game. He's also very naturally quick, and I know he's been racing in leagues for years, so I think perhaps he had that league experience that was really plowing him through that part of the season. Quarter 2 and quarter 3, he got 40 points apiece in those 10 races. So yeah, interesting. His performance obviously tailed off a bit, and he picked up 58 points in his last 5 races. I think obviously we need to note with Tom that he had a few races out, because, you know, I think he would have done a lot better if he didn't. Yeah, you know, and I feel on reflection over the season, definitely deserved a podium spot for the whole of the season. So yeah, well played to Tom. His personal highlights, obviously the start of the season, started incredible, but on a more psychological kind of idea of it, really, I think if we look at his second in USA, you have to give him props, because he'd had a few races out, he might not have been practicing, might have been a bit disillusioned. He come back and managed the second place. So that probably took a lot of character, actually, to come back and do that. So props to him. Hopefully he can keep it together and you know, really challenge for the title next year. I think he can. Obviously alongside Army as well, who you know, I think everyone fancies to do well next year as well. On to V5. Found out something about V5 actually, just from chatting to him. This is his first ever league season, I should say. It's incredible. Look at the guy's pace. You know, unbelievable. Fantastic pace. Let's go into his season in a bit of detail. First 5 races, only 35 points for V5. Wouldn't be happy with that. 29 in the second quarter. You know, that's less than a lot of people, if I'm honest. And I don't think they'd be happy with that. But this is probably my favourite stat out of all of them, which is 84 points over the third quarter. 84 points. That's incredible. What a turnaround. Obviously been putting in the work away from all of us. Doesn't seem to do much in the way of the practice sessions, but clearly very rapid. And again, maybe it's that league experience I was talking about with Tom, the reverse, you know, the natural pace, getting used to the league, getting used to the pressure of having to nail a qualifying lap, getting used to the pressure of, you know, the race and the championship. Perhaps at that point he starts to come to his comfort zone. And 62 points in the last quarter. Personal highlights for V5, probably the third quarter, definitely, but also China coming in first race of the season, winning it. I mean, first ever race in the league, don't care whether it's Div 2 or whatever, come in and won it. Wow, incredible. Hats off to V5, definitely. And if you actually look, another really good stat that I picked out, he picked up 146 points over the last 10 races of the season. Now you compare that to Yari, who actually picked up 149. That's 3 points less than Yari over the last half of the season. that's incredible. Probably why he's favourite to pick up the title next year in a lot of people's eyes. Definitely one to watch. Definitely. I think him, Tom, Army and Danny are probably the ones favoured to challenge, in particular, I feel. But saying that, moving on to the next person who probably will have something to say about that, who is Mr. Stevo. Mr. Stevo, 59 points in the first 5 races, as mentioned earlier, second in the title at that point. Disappointing second quarter for 25 points, third quarter 43, and fourth quarter 55. He would have had a lot more than 55 had he not. I actually had a really bad glitch, again talking from personal experience, trying to avoid that in this segment, but I can kind of give a bit of an insight. Stevo had a very unlucky incident with me because I had just a ridiculous glitch twice in that race, that caused my car basically me to lose control of the car and the screens just basically black out, and I cost him his race and went right into the back of me. So yeah, you know, very strong performance from Steve, but very consistent. I think Naka pointed it out at some point during the back end of the season that he seemed to be able to pick up on other people's mistakes and keep nicking podiums. Nicking is probably not the right word, but what he was doing, he was just having that race experience, that league experience, that wily old head of keeping out of trouble and letting all those around him lose their head. So yeah, respect to Stevo. Strong 5th place for the title. Strong 5th place. On to Dave. Dave's an interesting one because he was so consistent over the season, points wise. 34 points in the first quarter, 31 in the second, 51 in the third quarter, and 40 in the fourth. I'm not really going to break Dave's season down too much, other than one particular fact that I really want to bring up because I think it's really important. I personally think that Dave would have done a lot better had the safety car glitch not been around. I'll tell you for why. He does reverse strategies, we all know that, right? Dave had the ability to obviously use the softest compound in the majority of the races in his last stint. Now, I'll take you back to Monza. I think it was Robertson, actually, or racing at home, I forget which one, went off with about 6 laps to go at Monza. Now, if there was a safety car, let's say there's 4 racing laps, 5, 6, whatever it might well be, racing laps left after a safety car restart, you've got Dave, the softest compound, and everyone in front of him on the hardest. So 2 compound difference, and Dave's starting that series of laps to the end in 5th. Where would you fancy him to finish? I'd love people to comment on that because I think he's suffered with the lack of safety car. Division 2 incidents and crashes seem to happen through the race. It's not just the beginning, it seemed to happen through the race. So I feel like he would have benefited vastly from you know, the safety car being enabled. Quick guy, really quick guy. On to myself. Pepita obviously was technically next in the league, but he decided to leave rather unannounced, no longer with us. So again, like what I said earlier, I'll give shout outs to people that didn't do the whole season or enough of the whole season to grab some correlation, but I'll try and keep it around the guys that did the majority of the races. So on to myself. Yeah, 8 points in the first 5 races. I'd probably took that, I'm not gonna lie. I had no clue how quick I was. Seemed to be, everyone was way quicker than me starting off. I'm not going to go too much into my own personal view because I want to keep that for the next part, if you like, the roundup. But yeah, 8 points in the first 5 races, 18 in the second quarter, 28 in the third quarter, and 40 in the fourth quarter. Absolute progression all through. I think anyone would be happy with that. You know, from the neutral kind of side of things, the feedback I seem to be getting, that seems to be prevalent in the forum, and the chat seemed to be that I was very quick on the slowest compound tyre available, which on most of the races obviously is the soft tyre. Very quick on that, very competitive, and yeah, you know, if you look at those stats, keep progressing, could be finally grabbing a podium next year, who knows, finally. Anyway, on to Robertson. Robertson had a very good start, 28 points in the first quarter, 10 points, really disappointing actually, in the second quarter, 40 in the third quarter. That's a really good effort for someone that's not come massively high up the table. 16 points in the last quarter. His third section third quarter of the season was incredible for him. Really strong effort. Really good guy, really quick, really fair as well. I think he's a very good driver, picking up his pace a bit. Quite dangerous actually. Really good driver. So yeah, good luck for him for next year. Tough one now. On to Macca, our organiser. I feel bad just reading it. In all seriousness, it's so pacey. Really quick over a race. Seems to be really quick over the first stint of a race. Very dangerous. 28 points in his first quarter, 18 in the second, 6 in the third, and 12 in the fourth. I think, you know, Macca's personal highlight, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, and he probably agrees, his season highlight was probably the checkered flag at Abu Dhabi. Just a tough one, you know. I feel he put a lot of pressure on himself towards the end. I think it was a weird one. I think he just wanted the perfect race. I think he just wanted to get that monkey off his back, so to speak, in regards to how he had done through the season, and I just think he just wanted it to be over in equal measure. So really hard to judge where he'll be next year actually. Have him down quicker than anyone in the midfield. I'd probably say anything less than 5th would be a massive disappointment for him next year. Yeah, really want to forget, but show glimpses of real serious pace. On to Fab. Fab got 4 points in the first quarter, 1 in the second, 11. Really strong performance Fab actually in the third quarter, and 3 in the fourth quarter. I think Fab just felt a little bit disappointed overall in his performance. That's what I think he, you know, generally was feeling a little bit. I think he was happy to snatch points here and there, but I think he wants to be quicker next year. I think the big thing for him is race management, probably. He had a couple of races where, you know, bizarre ones, like with the picking the wrong tyres and changing weather, running out of fuel, kind of those kind of mistakes, if you like, rather than racing mistakes, so to speak. So if he can cut them out, I think he'll challenge the likes of Cristiano. Again, Cristiano's been, I'm not going to mention too much in this video because he's been quite intermittent, but you know, and people like Bellon and Emperor, and you know, and I feel he could have, yeah, you know, I feel next season he could definitely improve. On to Ibo, 5 points over the season. Yeah, I think he's a bit disappointed, probably, you know, from the feedback he seems to be getting just generally in the forum. But what a race, an incredible race he had at Japan. I don't know if anyone's actually seen this, but he was rapid round there. you know, definitely comparatively, because he was putting in some really good races, really good laps over that race. And I think, you know, with a bit more practice, just needs to keep at it. I think he'll be very quick. I think he can definitely up his pace. So yeah, no, pleasure racing with Bibbo, gentleman of the league, and I think he'll definitely be looking to improve next year. It kind of brings us on to two people in particular, actually, Mike and James James, I'm not quite sure. Those two guys have brought, you know, a bit of fresh blood to the league in the second part of the season. Mike's been very quick on certain tracks. Really good guy. And Hammers, odd one really, actually, around Australia, I think his first race, he was rapid. I wonder if he just practiced tons for that. I wonder if he's not put the hours in into the other races, because he's not shown that pace since. But again, you know, those two guys, along with racing at home, Bellon, himself, Robert, Macca probably doesn't want to be mentioned in this chat, actually, but that midfield could be quite exciting next year, if they can, you know, really get that kind of consistency over the season. Racing at home, onto him. Not really been here last few races. He's been a bit disillusioned with the game for one reason or another. But yeah, you know, don't think he's that keen on the game, actually. I don't want to talk about the game, it's a different subject, but you know, for the league, disappointing from his point of view, I would imagine, because he's been in the league a while. Yeah, and I think that was probably one to forget for racing at home. Bellon, wow, come back, didn't he? And he got like fourth spot, I think. It might have been Hungary. It's a guess, complete guess. Sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah, showing real glimpses, actually, Bellon. Again, you know, probably similar to Hammers, and put the hours in, put the practice in. Could well do well. Looking forward to racing them next year, actually. Some of the guys who left us, Pepita, RJ, DW, Darius, how quick was Darius? Darius was rapid. God, he left. Gentleman, no, obviously told us all that he was moving on. But yeah, no, you know, it's been a really good season. We've got, you know, congratulations, obviously, to Yari, and obviously Army and Steve over the constructors title as well, and our other podium finishers, Army and Tom. You know, well done to you guys. More general review, highlights of the season. Be keen to know everyone else's thoughts on this in the comments that people have on that. But the ones I'd be really tempted to pick out would probably be Brazil. What a race! V5 came in his tyres to the point that they just exploded. Yari stacking it into a wall to bring the title down to the last race. Dave having an incident. Macca completely like just messing up his race through, seemingly from you know, drive-through. Loads. Steve-O going halfway over through Rio de Janeiro over to the next set of corners. Everything, you know, mad one. Fab ran out of fuel. Oh, brilliant race as a neutral. You know, it's what you want every race. I'm glad it's back in the calendar. Don't know what happened there, by the way, but I'm not going to complain. I think everyone's happy Brazil was probably there. Lowlights of the season. Personal opinion, so apologies. Try to stay away from these, but the only lowlights I can really think of is actually the lack of midfield battle. You know, a lot of us were quite quick in that midfield, but I think we were all quick at different points. Some of us were getting up to speed, some of us were not practicing enough, and we all kind of just met in the middle in the title. over the title race, so to speak, in the season standings, rather than actually meeting each other on track. Whereas at the end of the season, I think that actually started to change. So I think, some of the battles that are going to occur next year could be quite fun. We've got Tom and Steve-O renewing their ever their rivalry. I'm hoping a lot more rivalry this year. Next year rather than this year. Perhaps a low light was that we had someone not taking anything away. Please don't interpret as that, but I think perhaps the first place didn't seem like it was there to be fought for unless someone made a mistake. Whereas this year, I think that could be a little bit different going forward. Just a big thank you, finally, to everyone that's raced. Great, it's been brilliant for me. Along with V5, it's also my first experience of league racing. I've loved it. I've enjoyed most minutes of it. Not to say all minutes of it, but it's been great. It's been a pleasure, genuine pleasure, racing with you guys this year. I'm looking forward to beating more of you next year. Look out, but no, seriously, it's been great. It's been a really good season, ups and downs, trials and tribulations, but yeah, that's all from me for now. I'm going to come back with a little bit more. Hopefully we're going to come back with a bit more of a kind of driver breakdown from your point of view, as to how your season went, and kind of take it from there. But as a general wrap up, that's all from me. Let's mark out. Thank you.